in quite a Right. So today we're talking about what we call the 21st century business model. And of course, the company that we're going to be talking about today that makes this opportunity possible for us is a company called Mining City. Now we're going to talk about who's Mining City, where they're based and so forth in just a minute. Now, what I want, to basically start with is I just want to see by the show of hands, how many of us are here because we are basically looking for a way to earn extra income. And by the way, it's quite chilly where I'm at. So that's why I'm wearing this nice beanie. But I am going to switch off my video so that we can focus on the screen. So how many of us are joining us because we want to earn extra income? How many of us are looking for an income opportunity? If you're looking for an income opportunity, please raise your hand for me. Okay, there's only one person yet. Now there's 2, 3. So, okay, that's number 4. So there's only 4, 5. Okay, once we get to 10, then we'll continue. Right, so now it's sitting at 9, 8. So only 8 people in this call are actually here because they want an income opportunity. Okay, so we didn't really quite make it to 10. Oh, there's 9. Okay, let's see if we can get one more. Oh, okay, now it's more than 10. Right, so let me continue. Right, so the reason I asked that question is because I want us to really understand what this opportunity is about. Sometimes the invitations come in varying forms, how people are actually invited to these meetings. So today we are talking about an income opportunity, a business opportunity that we call the 21st century business model. And like I said, the opportunity is brought to us by a company called Mining City, right? So we'll talk about who Mining City is in a minute. So, as part of this call, what you'll be able to cover is I'll talk about myself just as a way of introduction. Who am I and why I got started? We're going to talk about a very important gentleman by the name of Eyal Avramovich. And we're going to talk about these two companies, Mindbest and Mining City, how the two coming together, literally creates, an unprecedented opportunity for people like you and me who are looking for a way to earn extra income, right? So, and then we're going to talk about how you can build either full-time or a part-time income with this opportunity. Right, so just by way of introduction, my name is Lonabo Fololo. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast and I'm an entrepreneur. I only worked 18 months for a boss. And, there's a variety, a number of reasons as to why I only worked 18 months for a boss. But the major one was the fact that, I never intended to work for a boss until the day I die. I only intended to work for maximum of 5 years and then go and start, my own business. Simply because I knew that, working for a boss was not going to give me, the kind of income that I wanted. Okay. Now that's obviously a very personal, point of view and observation. And that is why, having studied for 4 years, graduated with a Bachelor of Technology degree in construction management, but I only worked 18 months for a boss, having studied for 4 years. Okay. So I am a cryptocurrency advocate since 2016. I am a property investor, and I'm also, though being a small scale, a VC investor as well. So here is a question that I have for you, right? Now, we said earlier, I will ask earlier, if everyone who's on this call is basically here because they want to earn extra income, okay? Now, here is 3 more questions that I want to ask. Every single person in South Africa today, and in fact, around the world, need to be asking themselves these 3 questions. Because we all know the fact that, very few people actually ever find financial freedom, through their jobs, okay? Very few people actually do. And those that do, they normally have to trade, a part of their life for them to get that kind of level of financial, freedom. Now, I want to maybe qualify what do I mean when I talk about financial freedom, okay? Because it means different things to different people, right? So if you don't have it defined yet, what it means to you, maybe my definition could help, to put your particular circumstances into perspective, okay? So when I grew up in Motherwell, in a place called NU9, okay? I grew up in a shack with my grandmother, and having lived most of my life, growing up with my grandmother, right? And she was a domestic worker. She had to stop working because of the fact that, due to ill health. And, when she stopped working, life had to continue. So she had to find a way for her to make, a little bit of extra income. And for her, that meant selling. Even though she never sold anything her entire life, she had to find something to do and then something to sell. So for her, entrepreneurship, as we call it, was not something that was born out of passion, right? It was not something, that was born out of wanting to change the world or make the world a better place, but it was born from a very basic, position of survivor, okay? Her selling, it was purely about survival. I hear a lot of people say, that not all of us can be entrepreneurs. And I agree with that fact, right? And but at the very same time, I think that is also based on the fact that, we think that we've got multiple options. Maybe we do, or maybe we don't. But you'll find that, even in countries like America, the people that are in the working class right now, they are basically, are doing what is called the gig economy. Now, the gig, or part of the gig economy. Now, the gig economy simply means that people cannot, live their life to the fullest with the kind of income that they're having. And we're talking here, from your blue collar worker to professionals and the whole spectrum of people that are, having a job, right? So they can't really live their life to the full potential. So what do? They now find, things on the side that they can do. Now that's what is called a gig economy. Some will drive Uber, on their free time. Some will teach kids, whatever skill. It could be tutoring math, it could be English, it could be, chess, it could be sport. But you'll find that there's people doing different things, for them to earn a little bit of extra income to add to what they're actually earning from their day job, right? That's what is called a gig economy. Now, the reason why that is, and that is now common, throughout the world. If that is happening in America, you can imagine, the scope of which is actually happening in South Africa, okay? Now, having said that, there's varying ways where people earn income. People could either earn an income, as an employee by selling their time. People could earn an income as self-employed, by also selling their time. But this time they actually own, they become, their own boss, right? Or they could do that by actually building a system, a business that they own that gives them leverage, in the sense that they can now benefit from having other people working with and for them to basically, further, their cause. Or, they get to, the last level of mastery, and that is where they can now get to have money working for them, where they now earn passive income from the money that they earn through their active income. Now they invest into different assets that then give them passive income. Okay, so that's how people basically earn an income. Now, the question that we should be asking right now, or the questions, is, so how much money do you need to basically live comfortably in South Africa right now? And once you got that, the second question is, how are you going to be able to generate that kind of an income? Okay. And then, once you have answered that question, the last one is, can you do it? Do you have the mental fortitude to do it? Do you have the mental attitude to do it? Do you have the skills to do it? If not, can you acquire those skills? Okay. If maybe the mindset is not yet there, can you build it to get to that position? Okay, because it is going to take you, right? There is no system that is going to be a plug in and play system, without you having to do anything. Okay, So that is why those three important questions are very important. Now, as a parting shot to this particular a slide that you're talking about, let me talk about my definition of financial freedom, right? So when I was looking for financial freedom, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for enough money for me to be able to stay in whatever suburb that I wanted to stay. And that had to be not influenced by how much I can afford or cannot afford. Me growing up in Kukwini in Motherwell, NU9, I had no choice in that, okay? Because, that's where, that's the area I found myself in. But when I became an adult, I had to make a choice. Do I want to continue staying in that area, or am I going to do something and find myself in a different position? Okay. So number one is, the area that I wanted to stay. I wanted to be able to stay wherever I want to stay, irrespective of how much, it actually costs. That's number one. And then number two, I wanted to be able, as a family man, I wanted to be able, to take my kids to any particular school that I desire for them to attend, not based on what I can afford, but what I think is the best for them. Okay. So for me, that was quite important. And then, the third thing that is quite important, being a man and a young man dreaming about cars, I always wanted to be able to drive whatever car that I want to drive, whether I can, not based on what I can afford. My first car was a VW Polo, right? And it's all I could afford. Okay. If I could afford a Ferrari then, I could have went for a Ferrari straight away. But I couldn't afford that. So for me, that's what financial freedom actually meant. But financial freedom is not the only thing that I desired. The second thing I desired was time freedom. So time freedom means that, I wanted to be able to do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do, with my own time. In other words, when my kids have, doesn't matter how old they are, when they've got something at school where they are playing sport, during the day, I wanted to be able to go there and cheer for them like what other mother or other parents, can be able to do. That's what I wanted to be able to do, okay? So for me, those are the basics, and everything else, just becomes an extra. But these were the basics. So, you have to look internally within you. What are the basics that you are basically looking for? Okay. And once you got that, then you answer these three questions. How much money do you actually need? And how are you going to be able to generate that? And, how can you do it? Okay. So now, based on this premise, we continue with our session. Now, I want to introduce you to a guy called Greg Rogoski. This guy is a CEO of a company called Mining City. He's the founder of Mining City. And the guy talking here, Lonobo Fololo, is a member of Mining City, right? So let's have a look at this video. We'll talk a little bit about what Mining City has done and what Greg has done. And then we're going to go on to the next gentleman. Right, so that was Greg Rogoski. As you can see, this guy has helped, to grow Mining City, within a space of 2 years to be a company that has done, over $2 billion in sales, right? So now the company Mining City is headquartered in Warsaw, Poland, and their mining facilities are in Kazakhstan and in China. But everything that Mining City does because of this company called MineBest, or through this company called MineBest. Now, we're going to talk about who MineBest is, but let's have a look at this gentleman by the name of Eyal Avramovich. Right. So the reason why we're talking about these two gentlemen, it is simply because one is the CEO of Mining City and the other one is the CEO of MindBest. Now let's talk about MindBest for a minute. Now, MindBest is a company that was started by Aaron Abramovich in 2017. This guy, Aaron Abramovich, is a serial inventor. This guy has created, many different technological products, ranging from the world's first wireless massager to the world's slimmest bathroom scale, to the world's slimmest electric car called the Leila Gabriela. He named the car after his two daughters. Okay, this guy is someone who is, obsessed with solving the world's problems using technology. Okay, now this guy came into the cryptocurrency space in 2015 when his cousins told him about cryptocurrencies. He then started mining Ethereum there from there on his own, and then quickly learned of all the different problems and challenges that did exist in the cryptocurrency space. And that's what led him to create a company called MindBest in 2017. Now, MindBest is an infrastructure partner for Mining City, meaning they build and run the data center or mining centers for Mining City. Okay. Now, MindBest has won numerous awards. One of them is for the top 10, best designed and run Bitcoin mining facilities. Now, MindBest and Mining City, they're both headquartered in Warsaw, Poland. And not only that, this company has spoken on many different blockchain conferences around the world, literally adding to the current body of knowledge within the blockchain space. And they've earned, their space right now as one of the known names within the blockchain, space. Now we'll talk about what blockchain is right now. So the reason why I'm telling you, this is because, this is the research that I had to do for myself before getting involved in Mining City. And once I met those two guys physically, that's when I then got involved. I basically flew to Kazakhstan to see the mining facility, and I also flew to Vietnam for the first time around to basically meet these two gentlemen. Now, Mining City, the opportunity is basically hinging or is dependent on two business models. One is the cryptocurrency model, and the other one is network marketing. Now, in cryptocurrencies, Mining City offers mining solutions to ordinary people like you and me. In other words, they give us access to mining cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, and electric cash, right? Now, there's over 6,000 cryptocurrencies in the world today. The question is, why is Mining City only concentrating on these three cryptocurrencies? Okay, so we'll explain why just now. So over the last 4 years, I got involved in Bitcoin in 2016, and I first heard about it in 2015, and at the time, Bitcoin was 3,000 Rand. And I did not get involved in 2015 when Bitcoin was 3,000 Rand. I only got involved the following year in 2016. At the time, Bitcoin was already 8,000 Rand. So talk about opportunity lost right there, or the cost of missed opportunities. I could have picked up 10 Bitcoins for 30,000 Rand. 2016, I would need to fork up, 80,000 Rand for me to pick up 10 Bitcoins. But what helped me was to understand what is Bitcoin, why does it exist, what problem is there to solve, how big is that problem. Once I understand those fundamentals, I knew that the future for this innovation is basically very bright, okay? And that's what made me to basically take a stand and get involved, because I knew that I have just stumbled across an opportunity, of a lifetime that could literally help ordinary people like myself to be able to create, enormous wealth through this opportunity, right? So I got involved, and within about 4 or 5 months of getting involved, I had to close my real estate business. I had a real estate business. I was selling properties for about 7 years of my life. And but when I found this opportunity, 4 or 5 months into that opportunity, I then left my real estate business to focus on cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency education. Okay. And by far, that's been, probably the most powerful financial decision or business decisions, shall I say, that I've actually ever made. Okay, so a lot of people who come into these calls, even though we clearly defined in the beginning that it's an income opportunity, it's a business opportunity, right? But a lot of people actually come into these calls looking for a way, looking for a way. I'm not sure what just happened now. Oh, okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure what just happened on my screen. Everything went blank and then came back. So what I'm saying is that, it is a business opportunity, but we're going to talk about how the business actually operates. Okay. So, but a lot of people often ask this question, and I've heard this, from almost every province in the country and even outside of the country. I've had presentations in Dubai, Zimbabwe, and Lesotho. The most common question people ask is, what must I put in? What am I going to get out? When and how? Okay. So even though I understand where that is coming from, but I have to be clear in the sense that this is not an investment platform, right? But we'll talk about how that works just now. But the most important question we should all be asking is, what is this? What is this Bitcoin? What is Bitcoin Vault? What is electric cash? What problem are they here to solve? How big is that problem? And how well, are these currencies doing in solving that particular problem? Okay, so Bitcoin is basically three things in one. One, Bitcoin is a currency, meaning I can use it to exchange goods and services. I can use it to exchange value. It's a currency like your rand, your dollar, your British pound. Okay, now, but the difference between Bitcoin and these other fiat currencies will be your government-backed currencies, is one, your fiat currencies are basically, they lose buying power over time due to inflation. Bitcoin is designed to be different. Bitcoin is designed to be deflationary. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That simply means that, what makes Bitcoin to be deflationary? So if you look at the price of one Bitcoin over, the last 10 years, the price has grown tremendously. The problem is, why is that? Why is Bitcoin growing in value, and why is my rand basically going down in value, losing buying power? One, your Bitcoin, unlike your fiat currency, there is a limit of how many Bitcoins will ever exist. There will only be 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist. If you look at the rand, there's no limit to how much rand can be added onto circulation. Now, anything that's available in oversupply, it loses value. Okay, we can make very practical example. Like a very silly one at that. That is like Millie's. Okay, when Millie's out of season, you'll find that you can still get it from Woolies, right? They will import it, whatever the case is, but it's going to be very expensive. But then when Millie's is in season, everybody's selling Millie's. As a result, the price of Millie's basically go down because it's available in oversupply. Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million Bitcoins. The rand, there is no maximum amount of rands that can be added. And even how this 21 million Bitcoins will be added, it's all at a predetermined rate, meaning, the monetary supply of Bitcoin is far more clear and plain. Anyone who can read code can basically understand. Now, nobody can tell you how much rands will be added this time next year, or the next 5 years, or the next 20 years onto circulation. Even though we work hard for our rands, save our rand, invest our rand, hoping that, when we need it in the near future, it will still hold its value. Okay. So now the reason why, Bitcoin is more than just a currency, it basically acts as a commodity. That's why we call it gold 2.0. This has got to do with the fact that, it's scarce, and also, it's scarce and it holds value over time, unlike your fiats, right? And then the third thing about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is a payment system on its own, meaning if I need to send money to anyone, anywhere around the world, I don't need a third party. Even though there are third parties that people can use, like your exchanges, those are third parties. But for me to interact and use Bitcoin, I don't need a third party. Okay, I can download, a Bitcoin wallet for free on any app store and start being able to send and receive money with anyone anywhere around the world. So as you can see that, since 2009, when Bitcoin was invented, the value of Bitcoin has steadily been growing over time, even though it basically, the whole year of 2009, Bitcoin did not have value. Why were people mining Bitcoin, still continue to be involved in Bitcoin in 2009, even though it didn't have value? Is because, they understood the potential of what Bitcoin was offering, as an alternative to the current financial system or monetary system. Now, Bitcoin today is about what, 500,000? I haven't checked the price today, but the highest Bitcoin has been was over 900,000. Now, I can tell you right now, Bitcoin will get to 1 million, 2 million. I just cannot tell you when. Back in 2016, when I got involved in Bitcoin as 8,000 Rand, I could have told you that Bitcoin will get to 500,000 Rand. But I just could not tell you when that was going to happen. So obviously you can see that it took time for Bitcoin to grow. And this is what happens in the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem, right? Cryptocurrencies do take time for them to grow in value. Now, if you look at Bitcoin Vault, on the other hand, it started in 2019. The value was around $1. And today, I haven't checked the price today, but I think it's less than $50 today, for the price of one Bitcoin Vault, which is an opportunity for those, that want to buy this Bitcoin Vault, right? We'll talk about what it is just now. But you can imagine if people get to understand the problem that Bitcoin Vault is solving, and they get to interact with it and realize that, it holds its promise of being the most secure cryptocurrency. Obviously, over time, the value of this cryptocurrency, can only but grow, okay, as adoption grows. ELCASH, also a very new cryptocurrency, which I'm very excited about, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, we started mining this coin in February, and it traded at around $8 per coin. And I think today it's just over $50 a coin. And so, it's still early days, meaning you and I have got an amazing opportunity to accumulate, in fact, all of these three cryptocurrencies. I'm basically accumulating all three cryptocurrencies, right? But my strategy for each one is different, okay? Now, I've been saying this for the last 4 or 5 years, and that is, if you want to create wealth in cryptocurrency, it is going to take this formula, nothing else but this formula. It's going to take you having knowledge of what this cryptocurrency actually does, maybe a little bit of information about who the team behind the cryptocurrency is, what problem this cryptocurrency is solving. And once you understand that and you see that there is a need for this particular crypto in the market, then the second thing is you need to have your own accumulation strategy. How are you going to accumulate this particular cryptocurrency? And once you got that unlocked, then the next thing you want to focus on is you want to exercise patience, okay? It took a while for Bitcoin to move from 0 to over 500,000 Rand, okay? So, any other cryptocurrency, you must expect the same thing, right? So, talking about Bitcoin Vault focuses on, security, right? Bitcoin right now focuses on being gold 2.0, or it is morphed to be more like gold 2.0, meaning it's focused on the store of value narrative. Now, Bitcoin Vault, on the other hand, focuses, yes, on being a store of value, but most important, it focuses on security, because it's the only cryptocurrency in the world where you can basically reverse a transaction within 24 hours, okay? Now, if you go to BTCV.com, that's the official website, and you can check, what is the official roadmap for this cryptocurrency, that has been written by the developers, and then you can see where this particular cryptocurrency is going. And based on that information, then you can make a decision as to, is this cryptocurrency a currency that you want to accumulate, based on what the developers are saying that they're basically going to do. And do yourself a favor, also do download the white paper that explains what this cryptocurrency is and how it actually works. Now, coming to ELCASH, which is the newest baby on the block. Now, let's listen to Eyal Abramovich, who is the CEO of Mindbase, as he explains what ELCASH is all about.
Hello, my name is Eyal Avramovich, CEO of Mindvest, creator of Bitcoin Vault and serial inventor. And today I have a special announcement. First, let me start off by saying I'm very proud of my team for delivering our promise of BTCV's security solution. From the technological perspective, it's a success. We will continue to develop the technology, the business, and global adoption. We are ready to move forward with expanding the ecosystem. As an entrepreneur with different companies and products behind me, I would like to announce my new blockchain project as part of the ecosystem of BTCV. Since BTCV is focused on being a more secure blockchain against theft like a vault, my new project will be focused on rewards for stakers with a coin enabling free and fast payments. I'm excited to present to you ELCASH. As our DNA is to grow a trusted community, ELCASH or ELCASH will grant rewards for BTCV stakers together with our business partners and give them ELCASH. Also, ELCASH holders could stake coins and get more ELCASH, as well as something called electric gas for free and fast transactions. More rewards for everyone. Stakers will get governance power on the blockchain to vote on decisions related to blockchain specifications, like the project development and even potentially how to spend the coins of an ELCASH fund. This will give the blockchain more transparency and decentralized management. ELCASH is a proof of work coin based on the SHA-256 algorithm, similar to that of Bitcoin. The ultimate cryptocurrency for global adoption and payments is ELCASH. Solutions like low to no price, fast and secure transactions for everyday use, incentive-based staking, a governance-based ecosystem, and much more. More information soon. ELCASH.
Right, so that is ELCASH, guys. Now, if you've been using cryptocurrency for a while, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, you'll notice that whenever there is a surge in the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum, you'll see that the transaction fees get to be a bit on the high side, okay? And that is because of the fact that, these are legacy blockchains, right? These are, blockchains that have not really scaled, as much, right? So that's why the coins, the transaction fees tend to be a little bit on the high side when, the network is very, very busy, right? So that is why ELCASH is now born to basically solve this problem, where now you can be able to buy coffee using ELCASH, okay? The reason why it becomes a bit of a challenge buying coffee with Bitcoin, yes, you can still buy coffee with Bitcoins. It's just that the transaction fees, when the network is very busy, can be on the high side, okay? So that is why even on the Ethereum blockchain, the gas fees or transaction fees can be very high. And that is what, gave rise to other cryptocurrencies that are basically solving that problem, the likes of your BNB and many others, right? And ELCASH is here to basically solve that particular problem, where now transactions can be free, or very, very cheap and very, very fast for you to do your day-to-day transactions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure it is clear to all of us that the future is definitely crypto. The future is 100% crypto. And if that is the case, then we do need, a coin that you can use on a day-to-day basis for us to do, our daily transactions, okay? We do make micropayments every now and then. Therefore, we need a solution for us to be able to, make a transaction that is worth 10 rands, using crypto without having to pay, another 10 rand in transaction fees, okay? So Electric Cash is positioning itself for that particular problem. Now, the question again is, why ELCASH? Now, before we talk about ELCASH, remember we said you need knowledge and you need an accumulation strategy and you need patience. That's what creates wealth in crypto. Now, let me talk or help you with, the 3 basic ways to accumulate, right? You can choose one, you can choose both, you can choose all 3, or you can choose none, okay? So now, one is mining. What is mining? Mining is simply a process whereby high-powered servers are used to, 1, secure the network, 2, power the network, and number 3, verify transactions on that particular network. Now, that network can be Bitcoin network, it can be Ethereum, it can be Zcash, Monero, ELCASH, BTCV, ELCASH. Most of the these cryptocurrencies, actually, the proof of work cryptocurrencies do basically work through mining, okay? Now, for that, the people that basically use their computing power, their network, and their electricity to basically power and run a particular network to do those 3 things, those people get to benefit on what is called mining rewards. In other words, these guys get to compete on the number of cryptocurrencies being generated through mining, okay? Every cryptocurrency in a proof of work that uses proof of work consensus algorithm does use mining for it to exist, okay? It comes into circulation via mining. So whenever you buy a coin on exchange, let's say now you go to Chainx and you buy BTCV, guess what? For that BTCV to exist, it had to be mined, okay? Just like gold. But this particular mining, nobody goes underground. We're talking about high-powered servers that do these 3 things that then, benefit from this. Let me give an example. If you look at Bitcoin, right now, Bitcoin, there is 900 new Bitcoins every single day, okay? And this is going to be this way for the next, almost 3 years. And once we get to what is called the halving, where the number of Bitcoins coming into circulation will be reduced, this will then go to 450 Bitcoins a day. And then 4 years later, it will be cut in half again, okay? So the 900 Bitcoins that are generated per day, these are what the miners are competing for, okay? So you get one miner, maybe out of this 900, getting 10, 20, whatever the case is, right? So because there is tremendous competition for mining Bitcoin, so you have now very big, businesses that are mining Bitcoins. So competition for Bitcoin is very rife. And what people do is that, small miners who have maybe, let's say 10, 20, 30 S9s, the latest machines for mining cryptocurrency or mining Bitcoin, they band together and create what is called a mining pool, okay? Meaning this one person has got this amount of computing power, that person has got that amount of computing power, of that company has got that amount of computing power. They therefore converge their computing power into one mining pool so that they can compete better, okay? Mining City uses the same principle, right? We're going to explain that just now. So why I'm telling you this is so that you can understand that for cryptocurrencies to exist, they have to be mined. So you can choose to participate in this base level of mining, or you can choose and say that you want to trade, okay? Now, trading is a skill. Now, if you want to trade, you have to learn the skill. Now, unfortunately, you learning the skill is gonna require a bit of money from you. And we're not even talking about money into paying someone to train you, but I'm talking about money that you possibly are going to win and lose over time as you're training. It is said that to develop and to master a skill, you need 10,000 hours. Now, when I got involved, I did not have 10,000 hours, okay, to basically go and learn a skill, right? So I was not necessarily inclined to do that, right? And I'm not a person that wants to stay in front of a laptop 24/7, okay, reading, analyzing trends and so forth. So, but there's people who basically do that. So you can basically do that, right? You can trade as well, but just know that's going to take you a long time for you to start being profitable. Now, the last way is what is called buy and hold, okay? And obviously, guys, all of these three different ways, they've got their own varying, risk level. So you basically look at yourself and see what kind of risk appetite you basically have. Then you make a decision. So let's talk about buy and hold just now. So let's make an example. Buy and hold means you can buy Bitcoins now, even for 10,000, 5,000, 2,000. You can buy Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency for that matter. And you hold on to that cryptocurrency and allow the value to grow over time. You can sell later at a profit, okay? Now, let me tell you why I am particularly not in favor of that, only. Yes, you can do that in combination with one of these two, okay? Let me tell you why. So if you had bought, let's say, one Bitcoin, if you had bought one Bitcoin in 2016, that's supposed to be a zero, right? So if you had bought one Bitcoin in 2016, okay, let me remove that. So if let's say you bought one Bitcoin in 2016, and at the time Bitcoin was 8,000 Rand, okay? And let's say you were very, very careful on timing the market. And when Bitcoin got to, let's say, 900,000, right? And that's when you decided that you are cashing out, right? You're gonna sell Bitcoins. So that means that you would have made 892,000 Rand in profit, which is massive by any stretch of the imagination, okay? But this is what normally happens with buy and hold holders, right? So let's say, you bought Bitcoin and you sold at 900,000, and Bitcoin started going down to all the way to 500,000. Yes, now you'll be proud of your decision to sell at that particular point, right? You would have made a very perfect call and you'll be proud of yourself. But now you don't have a Bitcoin, remember. So if Bitcoin then continues to grow and it goes all the way, let's say to 1,000 to 1.5 million, guess how you're gonna feel? I wish I had held on to my Bitcoins a little bit longer. Why? Because now for you to buy that one Bitcoin is going to cost you more than what you basically sold your Bitcoin for. And that's what happens for a lot of people over time. Okay. So my favorite option is basically to combine, okay, where you have a system that or an opportunity that basically pays you in Bitcoins, okay, or any cryptocurrency, or either on a daily basis or whatever the case is, but you want to be paid in crypto on an ongoing basis, okay? So, but, be that as it may, you can basically make your own choice. Now, when it comes to the three cryptocurrencies, Mining City is basically mining. Let me tell you why I am bullish on ELCASH. The number of cryptocurrencies already mined is just over 3.3 million. So there will only be 21 million coins, okay, to ever exist in ELCASH. Same as Bitcoin Vault, same as with Bitcoin. So meaning there's about 17.6 million still to be mined. This means for me, I've got a far greater chance of accumulating this cryptocurrency, okay? Now, let me show you what makes money in crypto. So this is one Bitcoin, right? Or Bitcoin Vault or ELCASH, right? So with your Rand, you've got 2 decimals after the comma, but with crypto, you basically have got 8 decimals after the comma. Now, what makes people money or makes people rich over time is having lots of these babies here just before the comma, meaning a full Bitcoin. If you go and buy Bitcoin now for 5,000 Rand, you're getting 0.0 something of a Bitcoin, okay? So, but what you want to accumulate this here. But when the price goes up, it's basically almost impossible now for ordinary people to go and buy maybe 5 Bitcoins to keep for, for a while, okay? It's almost impossible because of the price has grown so much. But with Bitcoin Vault and Electric Cash, you still have got a far greater chance of actually buying these cryptocurrencies, okay? because they're still very, very low, you know, for ordinary people to be able to buy. But when this crypto goes to, you know, $1,000, $2,000, then it's going to start to become a little bit expensive for ordinary people. Okay, so now Bitcoin Vault, we've mined way over half of the total supply, meaning there's about just over 8 million Bitcoin vaults still to be mined. With Bitcoin, we've mined, you know, almost probably what, almost over 80% of the number of Bitcoin vaults to ever exist. So meaning we've mined over 18.7 million already. So there's just, you know, 2.2 million Bitcoins left to be mined. Okay. So now, based on that information, you can see, you know, where you want to go. Okay, you can make your own decision. I'm telling you why I'm basically bullish on ELCASH, because of the fact that I can still accumulate a lot more coins because there's still a lot more to be mined, right? Now, how does Mining City assist in this regard? Mining City says, look, you could buy a mining plan. What is a mining plan? A mining plan simply means that you are buying computing power or renting computing power, you know, from Mining City. So, for example, you could start with a platinum plan, which is $12,600 US. What that means is that you are basically getting, 138 terahash, which is computing power. Remember, we said earlier, who gets to get the number of Bitcoin, who gets to get the most number of Bitcoins generated daily? It's he who has the most computing power, or he who has the most computing power has got a far greater chance of accumulating more cryptocurrencies daily. So that is ELCASH, right? The platinum plan, it gives you 138 terahash. So whether you're buying Bitcoin mining plan, Bitcoin Vault, or Electric Cash, you're basically getting the same computing power. But with ELCASH right now, there is a promotion where instead of you getting 138 computing power for your ELCASH, you are basically going to get 50% more. Okay. Now, this 138 is basically based on you getting an extra 12 terahash when you buy a platinum plan, but over and above that, you are now going to get 50% more in terms of computing power. This, ladies and gentlemen, is basically means it's money in your pocket, because remember, by increasing your computing power, you are increasing chances of you accumulating more coins per day, right? So that's a platinum plan. But of course, you could also go for a gold plan. So instead of you getting 46 terahash for a gold plan, now you're going to get, 42 terahash plus the half of that. Okay, same as with your silver plan, same as with your bronze plan, and your standard plan, and your primary plan. So you can start with any of these plans, and you can continue adding as you go along. Right now, I have about 38 different accounts. Each one of them have got different mining plans. Some will have just only ELCASH, some will have BTCV only, some will have Bitcoin, some will have all three. Okay, depending on what I was doing on that particular account at a particular given moment. So another important fact here is that this plan you're buying entitles you to a share of the mining rewards for 1,100 days. Okay, so for 1,100 days, you will get a share of the coins that are mined. Now, there is no predetermined way for me to be able to tell you, how much you are basically going to get, but there is a website called Crypto Compare. Crypto Compare, you can basically check in terms of Bitcoin only, not BTCV or ELCASH, but you can check in terms of Bitcoin. But then even there, it's not accurate, because what it is today and the factors of tomorrow could be very different. Okay, remember, mining is not static. Every single day's rewards is going to be different from yesterday. That's just the nature of mining. Now, another important thing to note is that a lot of people, again, going back to what I said, right? It's a business opportunity. So this here is the means to your business opportunity. Even though the business opportunity itself is basically optional, you don't have to do it. You can basically buy your mining plan and accumulate your cryptocurrency, but there is no predetermined, rate that I can say, if you buy a platinum plan, this is how much you're going to make day, monthly. That's not just just not how mining actually works, okay? Let me give an example. A gentleman who started mining Bitcoin Vault when we started, okay? This guy for a while, a few months, was basically living on the mining rewards, meaning so he would get mining rewards at the end of the month, withdraw them and sell the mining, the cryptocurrency, and basically live on that. And that was him shooting himself in the foot, because you're going to spend right now, let's say ELCASH right now is sitting at $50, right? And you spend your ELCASH, it's only at $50. And then you find that 6 months from now, that very same ELCASH, let's say it's $100, okay? So meaning you've spent your crypto at far less than what its potential is. That's what happened to me in Bitcoin, okay? And, you know, it happens all the time, okay? So you basically want to exercise, you know, part of that formula is patience, okay? Now, let's get to the second part of this presentation, and as we are about to close this session. Now, this is my favorite part, like I said before, because, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I want to control my own destiny. I want to be able to earn a little bit more money so that I can live life on my own terms. Remember, I said I was looking for two things: financial freedom and time freedom, right? So let's have a look at how this can provide that. Now, there's three basic ways Mining City compensate us. The question is, compensate us for what? So anyone who joins Mining City has to join through someone who's already a member, okay? In other words, for you to join Mining City, you have to, you know, get a link from a person who actually, you know, exposed you to Mining City, and that's the only way you can register. Even if you go to the website, or maybe you went to the, you're watching this video on YouTube, and you decide that you want to get involved, you go to the Mining City website and you click on register. Guess what's going to happen? The system will say, who is your sponsor? Who is your referrer? That's the only way you can participate in this program. Now, again, let me reiterate, that is optional. But if you are going to be sharing with friends and family members about Mining City will obviously compensate you. It's just that for us who are entrepreneurs, we see an opportunity because, you know, people, you know, once they understand this, they will want to get involved. And they'll obviously get involved through the people who will go through the, you know, the effort of educating them of what this whole thing is all about. What are the risks and what are the rewards, you know, that are possible in this opportunity, okay? So now, there's three ways Mining City compensates us. And one of those ways is called the binary cycle bonus, which pays between $200 and $2,800 US. Terms and conditions apply. Let me explain how that works. Now, before I explain that, I need you to ask yourself a question. You know, $200 a day is almost what? 90,000 rands almost. The question is, if you were to earn an extra 90,000 rand on what you're doing today, how will that change your life? Remember those three questions I asked in the beginning? How much? How can you do it? And can you do it? Okay. Question you should ask yourself is, you know, what would an extra 90,000 rand a month mean to you? How would it change your life, if anything? I know for a lot of people, 90,000 rand is a life-changing kind of money. Okay. Even though there's people earning 2 times that, 3 times that, 4 times that, right? But let's just stick to that. Just $200 a day, every single day, right? So how is that even possible? So when you get involved, Mining City has something that is called a citizen tree, meaning every person who gets involved has to be placed in this wonderful thing called the citizen tree. Why do I call it wonderful? It's wonderful because whenever you are placed, you know, the people being placed after you have basically been placed, you know, they have the potential of being placed under, you know, either your left or your right. Because in this citizen tree, we've got 2 branches. You've got your left and you've got your right. Even though, you know, underneath those branches, you know, each branch forks into 2 again, into left and right. And this goes on all the way to infinity. Now, let me explain. So let's say this is you, right? You got involved and you are going to be placed here, right? So you've got your left and you've got your right that is open. It's a canvas for you to basically create your own future. So let's say you refer two people, right? And let's say this is your cousin and this is your friend. And both of them, they can choose to buy whatever plan that they want to buy. And each and every plan they buy has got a corresponding credit amount of credits. Now, let me give an example. Let's say the two of them happen to buy a gold plan. Now, a gold plan will give you 7 credits, right? So you'd have 7 credit left and you'll have 7 credit right. The question is, what do we do with these credits? Because we don't want credits. We joined Money City because we wanted to make money. So at what point do this credit get converted into money? So you can see here, Money City, every time you've got 5 left and 5 right, that then equates to you getting a bonus of $200. So by signing these two people or referring these two people, Money City will come and they will minus 5 on the side. You are left with 2 on either side, and you get your first $200. Now, here is another reason why I love this particular compensation plan. Now, this $200 will get paid to you in electric cash or Bitcoin Vault, or a combination of those two. Okay, let's say this $200 gets paid to you in ELCASH. Let's say the price of ELCASH is, let's say it's $50. That means you are getting 4 ELCASH. Okay, so you're getting 4 ELCASH for that particular cycle. Now, what happens when the price of ELCASH moves from $50 to, let's say $100? Meaning now your $200 is now automatically, worth or, equivalent to $400. So that's the beauty, of this particular plan. But let's continue, because that was just one $200. How do we get more $200? So now, because you've got 2 left on your left and on your right, let's say you refer the third person. You refer the third person here, and the third person, buys, let's make an example and say they buy a platinum plan. So what will happen is that you have an additional 21 credits because the platinum plan gives you 21 credits. Okay. Now you've got a total of 23 credits. Now, this person here that you signed up does not even know this person, right? Or they were not even there when you signed up this person. So what happens is they also get what is called a spillover, meaning they will also get 21 credits. Okay. Now, they don't even know this guy. They're just benefiting from the work that you have done. So let's say this side here, this person understands a bit of network marketing, and he refers 2 of his friends, and 2 of his friends also happen to buy, let's just say they buy silver plan. Silver plan is 4 credits. So this person will get 4 left and 4 right. So how much do they need for them to get one cycle? They just need 1 on either side, who basically buys a standard plan. So now, because this guy benefited from your work on your left hand side, now the roles are reversed on your right hand side. So what's going to happen is that you'll get an additional 8 credits. So meaning now you've got a total of 10 credits. What will Money City do? Money City will come and they will minus 10 credits, and they will minus 10 credits this side as well. Now you are left with 13 credits. This side you are left with 0 credits, and what you will get is $400 US. Okay, so now obviously if you've got one more person to sign up, you are gonna want to come and place them here where you've got 0 credits, and because you've got 13 credits that side. Now let's just say this particular person here, refers 2 people, both of them buying standard plan, right? So obviously he wants to cycle as well. He's going to come and place 1 here and place 1 here, meaning now he'll have, an additional 1 credit and an additional 1 credit here as well. So he will then have 5. And that will obviously equate to $200 on his part. But what will happen to you is that 1 you still get that 1-1, right? So now you've got a total of 2 credits, okay? So this can continue, guys, on and on and on. When this guy plays someone here, this one would have got the 1 credit. This one got the 1 credit, just like you did. And obviously everybody, above you, okay? So imagine if, your business grows and you've got another person here, and in total, the number of credits you are getting on either side, it's 10 left and 10 right. That means you are taking home $400 US on a daily basis. Okay, that's one way. Now, the second way we get paid is basically the matchup. How the matchup bonus works is, for every person in your team, like this guy here, when he makes $200, Mining City compensates you with $10. So imagine with me, you've got 50 people making $200 a day. That simply means that you're making $10 per person. And they do this, over a month. That's 30 days, So you're looking at $15,000, guys, in just this match up bonus, okay? So the income potential there obviously is unlimited, okay? So, but that's the 2 ways we get paid. Now we're going to go to the third way we get paid. Right, so the third way we get paid is basically called the level up. Level up simply means that, the first 5 people you sign up or you refer, you get 5% referral commission. And then person number 6, 7, 8 that you refer, you get 10% referral commission. And should they start and refer their own first 5, meaning their own team A, they get 5% and the other 5%, rolls over to you as well. And obviously you can sign as many people as you want. You can go all the way to infinity, right? Now, Mining City has got also additional bonuses that you can get. Now, these bonuses are based on you achieving, or reaching a certain rank. For example, if you become a city builder, like we were recognizing on our gala dinner this weekend, you get an extra $100. If you become a city developer, you get an extra $250. If you become a city manager, you get $3,500 US. If you become a city chief manager, that's an extra $50,000. And a city mayor, it's $100,000. Okay. Now, obviously, these are temporary bonuses, and at any given moment, they can be recalled. Now, the question is, can you do it? Remember the 3 questions? The last one was, can you do it? Okay. I'm saying you can do it if you really want to do it. Why? Because, being part of, yes, you are joining Mining City, right? Yes, you're buying your plan with Mining City. But guess what? By virtue of you joining through the people, in this call here, you become part of a support structure that is called Fox Nation, right? Fox Nation is simply, a group of individuals working together to basically create change, to support one another, to help one another to grow in their network marketing business, okay? We focus on financial education. We focus on learning about network marketing. We focus on personal development, and we focus on financial education as well, okay? So those are the things, you become part of this community by default, okay? So you don't pay a cent for being part of this community. And, but you do, buy your own mining plan, within Mining City. And that's really got, not much to do with Fox Nation. So the gala dinner that we've had was completely out of this world. It was our 9th gala dinner, and it was insane. The amount of content that was shared, it was the most content-rich gala dinner we have ever had, okay? We had